Welcome back, everybody, to the Street Fighter League recap. I'm James Chen.
Hey, I'm UltraDavid. It's week number 8. Let's talk about it.
And we kick things off with an interesting match. It's the battle of last place with Team Psycho, which is Toy, Chakotay, and Just a Kid, versus Spirit, Justin Wong, Brian F, and Psycho.
Yeah, that's right. And in the ban phase, Psycho did the opposite of what they did last time, in which they had banned Karen, thinking that their players could beat Justin's Manat. That didn't work out.
Right.
So, okay, we're going to ban Manat like everybody else basically does.
Right.
And then Spirit banned Bison, which actually everybody does, with 100% every time it's happened. Sorry, Toy.
Yeah, he's never going to get to play, so...
And in the order, Psycho went with Just a Kid, Toy, and then Chakotay. Toy putting himself second.
Yeah, I mean, he went last week, second this week. I don't know. I think he's just trying to throw people off so they just don't, try to put their weakest player against him.
Yeah, of course, you got to mix it up, and that's what Spirit did as well with Brian F, Psycho, and Justin. So again, they keep on mixing it up as well, trying to find the right player and character matchups. In the matches, it began with Just a Kid Jury versus Brian F Boxer. Brian F was confident the last time that they played.
Yeah, he said that they've always played each other on stream and just online. He was like, I beat Just a Kid all the time, but then Just a Kid beat him. So it didn't go quite that way, but Brian F this time definitely got his revenge.
And Toy actually beat Psycho. You know what? That is pretty impressive. Hats off to Toy. We've been ripping on him this entire time, but he looks good.
His birdie is getting a lot stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, he's been playing him. This is what, like week 8 now, so he's been playing him for 7 weeks straight. So, you know he's got to have put a lot of work in with this character, and it's showing now.
I agree. And then you had Chakotay actually beating Justin. That was so cool. Mostly with offense, but it wasn't just that. He played very well.
Yeah, and, I just felt like he was being very aggressive and just caught Justin off guard. Although Justin used that, and I feel like he gave that kind of advice to Brian F later, but spoilers.
Okay. And then after that, you had Toy going up against Brian F Boxer. Basically, Brian F controlled this thing. Lots of patient play, looked very strong.
Yeah. And actually, Brian F just looked amazing this week. Like, maybe he needs his back against the wall. Maybe he needs to know he's the final player, because then he went up against Chakotay, and as much as Chakotay defeated Justin, like I said, Justin gave him some advice, stuff that maybe he felt like he didn't do, and I felt like that kind of led to the win, and Brian F clutched it out, OCVing the entire other team.
Nice work, Brian. Yeah, this was definitely the strongest performance that we've seen out of Brian F. That's for sure.
And you know what? Brian F said so himself.
He did. Yeah, I think that was very, very cool. Also, still cool to see that they're giving each other advice a lot of the time.
Always. They're always giving each other advice.
Yeah, that's very nice. Interesting to hear Justin talk about the player and character order, because he thinks that if they had just picked a better order, that they would have a better record. That's that important for him.
Yeah, he feels like most of the weeks they've been losing is largely just because of unfortunate order matchups.
Dang. So you can see the importance of that there. But this does mean that they're now the second to last place team. So that means that Psycho is now in the absolute dumps. They are last place.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for them, and it's a situation again I mentioned previous weeks. Like, I feel like another teammate's got to step up and maybe make them think that they can't start banning Bison. Just a Kid had 2 great weeks at the start, but it just hasn't been able to continue for them.
And I would love to see a little bit more sort of strategic, in-depth advice. Every now and then when you watch them, they'll do that. But for the most part, it's more just sort of encouragement.
You can do this.
You can do that. I mean, that's nice.
Don't get nervous.
That's not nothing, but it's not as valuable, I think, as advice can be in a team situation.
Yeah.
Battle 2 was Gale, NuckleDo, Rob TV, Shine versus Frost, Nephew, Up to Snuff, and Dual Kevin.
Yeah, and the bans started out interesting. Remember, Gale banned Colleen last time, and they got OCV'd by Nephew's G. And this time, they still banned Colleen, despite the advice from Punk to ban Up to Snuff's Nakali.
What does that guy know? Frost banned Ibuki from Shine, as every single time has happened. In the order, Gale went with Do up front, then Shine, and Rob TV on anchor.
Yeah, and Rob TV's been playing so strong, so I kind of like him at that anchor position.
I definitely agree. Frost went with Kevin up front, then Up to Snuff, and then Nephew on anchor.
Yeah, for me, I just feel like, they put Dual Kevin up at front a couple of times, and, getting an early win because he's been doing so well gives your team that confidence going into the next few games.
In the matches, we started out with Dual Kevin Rashid, Knuckle Do Nash.
Yeah, in that situation, I really feel like he was just looking purely at Nephew. Because remember, last time he went Cammy and lost to Nephew's G. So I feel like he was kind of looking past Dual Kevin, and it was kind of bad at first, but then game 2 and 3, he dominated.
And then Shine Jury versus Up to Snuff Nikali. There was a big drop by Up to Snuff at one point, gave Shine a chance, but Up to Snuff took it anyway.
Lots of good advice going between the players there. I felt like Up to Snuff got good advice.
I think that's true. Then you had Rob TV Karen versus Nephew's G.
And as we said, Rob TV's been playing really well, but I mean, Nephew's G is legit.
It's super legit. There's no doubt about it. Then it was Knuckle Do's Nash versus Up to Snuff's Nikali. Great movement by both. That was super fun to watch. But Up to Snuff ended up doing it.
Yeah, he took it, and Punk was right.
Right? That's what exactly. Punk was right. And also so much for Do picking Nash to try to get at Nephew's G. Whatever, man. Didn't even come to that. So that meant that Frost ended up taking it. Frost, they give very detailed strategic advice to each other. I love watching that.
Yeah, exactly. The team has a really strong cohesion, and I love the way they've been performing. Dual Kevin and Up to Snuff. We called them kind of wild cards at the beginning, like, how are they going to do? We don't know. They've been playing great. So I've been really impressed with Team Frost.
Very nice, very nice. And on Gale's side, pretty quiet with each other. There's not a ton of advice, it looks like, being given out. I'm not sure whether that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, Shine has always been really good at advice, and he's kind of, talked about being a coach. I didn't feel it this week.
I didn't feel it this week either. And as for Nash, is that a bad idea?
I mean, look, if Punk says you got to ban Nikali, just do what Punk says, man.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
For the most part, anyway.
I mean, Punk, has he ever been wrong on bans? And then we close out the week with the Clash of the Titans at this point in time. It's Storm with Mr. OCV Samurai with Idom and Classico going up against Inferno with the invincible Punk, Broly Legs, and JB.
Now, Storm banned Karen from Punk, obviously, same as last time. Not a big surprise there. But finally, Inferno allowed Laura to live. They broke the chains. They banned Akuma.
Free Lord. Yeah, hashtag free Lord. They actually, and you know what's funny too? Like, Idom finally got a chance to play Laura, and early on I even said if it was ever gonna get a chance, I bet you it would be Punk that was gonna do it, because he would have the confidence, and there it is.
There it is. In the order, Storm went with Idom, Classico, and Samurai. Look, they've been putting Samurai on anchor.
Yeah.
They must have expected the same thing to happen again. They're not expecting Laura to come out to play.
Yeah.
Then Inferno went with JB, Punk, and Broly Legs.
Yeah, and in this situation here, they knew that they were gonna ban Akuma. And so basically they put Broly at the end because of course Samurai was going to be anchor.
Of course.
So you're putting Broly down there to have the best chance against Samurai's secondary character.
Smart. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. I see what you're doing out there. Matches Idom Laura. Can you believe I just said that phrase? Versus JB's Rashid.
Yeah, look, JB is a world-class player. They've played against each other at NLBC millions of times and everything, but still, there's a reason why they've been banning Idom's Laura. Idom manages to take it.
Then you had Classico Urian versus Punk Chun-Li.
Yeah, basically interesting choice here because he went with Chun-Li. You know he's doing this because he's looking at Idom.
Yes.
And so basically took Broly Legs Chun-Li away. Yeah, and Punk ended up taking it over Classico. The commentators mentioned that Classico has been nervous. You can see it. He's had a lot of drops, a lot of, unfortunate, mistakes in clutch situations. But that, he's playing with all these great players. It's hard to not be nervous.
Tough situation, of course. Then on the battle of the secondaries, Samurai Sagat versus Broly's Bison.
Yeah, so that was Broly's secondary. Had to play it finally. And, looked competent enough. Not as clean as maybe a toy Bison would probably be, but still looked pretty strong.
Yeah, and I loved how that match was entirely fought in the left corner, which meant that Samurai had to be on defense the whole time, and he still took it anyway. Yeah. So shout outs to him there. Then it was Idom Laura versus Punk Chun-Li. So you could test whether it actually was a good idea to go with Chun here.
Look, Idom said that Punk never beats him.
Yep.
Without Karen.
Yep.
And then Punk said, "What are you talking about? I beat you with Chun-Li all the time." Didn't happen.
That's a
not
big old
happen.
no. So that means that Storm ends up taking it 3-1
Yeah.
over Inferno. And for Storm, you know, look, I feel like it was great to watch Laura. Obviously, just right off the bat,
Yeah,
a blast to watch. Idom makes the character look so fun.
Different. It's weird. Like, I swear he uses him in a way that other Lauras just don't seem to have.
It's beautiful to watch. But I also still think that this kind of confirms the importance of Samurai in his team's success.
Yeah.
Because it was his strong play that allowed Laura to come out in the first place. And by the way, Samurai still won this week anyway.
Right, so he's undefeated in the last 5 weeks. He just has not lost, so still the MVP. Still
Very,
the MVP
very
of the
nicely
league.
done. And for Inferno, the loss, was it worth it to let Laura live? Punk seemed to indicate that he still would have done it, even afterward.
Right, and keep in mind,
I don't know.
Keep in mind here, as a result, they're actually in second place now.
That was huge, right? So it wasn't just like, oh, Punk the nice guy, let's Idom's Laura come out to play, no consequence to them. No, because of that, well, partly anyway, Punk's team gets sent to second place.
Yeah, and now Storm is in the lead.
After another week, on top, brand new Storm at 5-2.
Yeah, as we mentioned, now same record as Inferno, but probably better record head-to-head now. And man, things are heating up here on the Street Fighter League.
So Inferno's at second place, yeah. Frost and Gale are both tied at 4 and 3, but Frost ahead, and they're looking great.
Yeah, Frost is the team.
Yes.
I feel like that has been really the most impressive so far.
Spirit now has separated themselves from Psycho.
Still disappointing, but they won. But we picked them as being like the second strongest team. But
Probably not gonna happen at this point. Only 3 weeks left, to be honest. And then Psycho at 1 and 6 in the doldrums. I'm not sure they're getting out of them, James.
It's gonna be tough, but they have 3 more weeks to do it. Every Thursday we are playing at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters and youtube.com/Capcom Fighters. Can't wait to see how it's gonna close out. 3 weeks left. Let's see how it finishes.
Yeah, I'm super stoked that we got to finally watch Laura one time. I hope you all enjoyed it. It'll never happen again.